Click subscribe to get latest news and don't forget to press the bell icon.
The leftist media doesn't just manipulate the masses by what they say, it's also by what they ignore. At the moment, the MSM outlets are in coordination to keep the public unaware of President Trump's fight for honest elections in America. Trump's Commission on Election Integrity held its first meeting on Wednesday. The mainstream media outlets were completely silent on the event in a desperate attempt to hide the truth about voter fraud from Americans. Isn't it the responsibility of journalists to cover an event of this importance? This is a serious effort to get to the bottom of whether our elections are being compromised. After all, the left is the side complaining about election meddling. The mainstream media is more interested in peddling conspiracy theories than it is in reporting facts about what's being done by our government. It's no wonder the credibility of these outlets has gone down the tube. Just look at how they've handled this event. ABC and NBC gave no broadcast time to the first meeting of the Commission on Election Integrity, as reported by Newsbusters. ABC posted a video on YouTube, but they didn't mention it on their network. CBS made only a slight mention of the commission meeting, but, as expected, they gave it a negative slant. CBS's Anthony Mason said, "While Congress and the special counsel are investigating Russian election hacking, President Trump has set up a panel to investigate election fraud with little evidence there is any." Their anchor reiterated the same idea. Trump kicked off the first meeting of his Election Integrity Commission today, but its origin goes back to November when he won the Electoral College while losing the popular vote to Hillary Clinton by almost 3 million votes. Mr. Trump has refused to believe it, insisting that millions of people illegally voted for Clinton, but he has cited no evidence. It's a standard talking point. They love saying there's no evidence or little evidence. Which is it? Isn't the point of an investigation to see whether or not there's evidence? Do police immediately dismiss a murder investigation because there's no apparent evidence? Remember, leftists suffer from selective amnesia. They could do a Google search and find evidence of voter fraud accumulated over the years, but that's too much work for these media elites. Much of the proof of voter fraud is reported on the same leftist outlets that tell the president there is no evidence. Remember when an illegal immigrant living in Texas was arrested and deported for casting a ballot for Hillary Clinton? Who reported that story? Oh yes, it was the New York Times. Yet the New York Times is among the first to jump on Trump for pointing out the reality of voter fraud. Hypocrites. The media is silent on this issue because they don't want the public to know the full extent of the Democrat Party's fraud machine. They've been stealing elections across the country for years. No one has stopped them. Even the GOP has been too afraid to call them out on it. Thankfully, Trump isn't bought like the establishment fake Republicans. We are finally going to put a lid on the illegal voting. It will be the end of the Democrats.